6. Pay your brokers well. The power of good advice. I often see people posting a sign in front of their house that says for sale by owner, or I see on TV today many people claiming to be discount brokers. My rich dad taught me to take the opposite tack. He believed in paying professionals well, and I have adapted that policy also. Today, I have expensive attorneys, accountants, real estate brokers, and stock brokers. Why? Because if and I do mean if because if and I do mean if the people are professionals, their services should make you money, and the more money they make, the more money I make. We live in the information age. Information is priceless. A good broker should provide you with information as well as take the time to educate you. I have several brokers who are willing to do that for me. Some taught me that some taught me when I had little or no money, and I am still with them today. When I pay a broker is tiny in comparison with the top with that kind of money. What I pay a broker is tiny in comparison with what kind of money I can make because of the information they provide. What I pay a broker is tiny in comparison with what kind of money I can make because of the information they provide. I love it when my real estate broker or stock broker makes a lot of money because it usually means I had made a lot of money because it usually means I made a lot of money. A good broker saves me time in addition to making me money, as when I bought the piece of vacant land for $9,000 and sold it immediately for over $25,000 so I could buy my Porsche quick, quicker. A broker is your eyes and ears to the market. They are there every day, so I do not have to do be. So I don't have to be. I did rather play golf. Also, people who sell their house on their own must not value their time much. Also, people who sell their house on their own must not value their time much. Why would I want to save a few bucks and when it when I could use that time to make more money or spend it with those I love? Why should I want to spend why should I want to save a few bucks when I could use that time to make more money or spend it with those I love? What I find funny is that so many people and middle class poor insist on tipping restaurant help to What I find funny is that so many poor and middle class people insist on tipping restaurant help 15 to 20% even for bad service and complain about paying a broker 3 to 7%. They enjoy tipping people in the expensive column and stiffing people in the asset column. That is not financially intelligent. What I find funny is that so many poor and middle class people insist on tipping restaurant help 15 to 20% even for bad service and complain about paying a broker 3 to 4%, 3 to 7%. Sorry. They enjoy tipping people in the expensive expense column and stiffing people in the asset column. That is not financially intelligent. All brokers are not created equal. Unfortunately, most brokers are only salespeople. I would say the real estate salespeople are the worst. They sell, but they themselves own little or no real estate. There is a tremendous difference between a broker who sells houses and a broker who sells investments. There is a tremendous difference between a broker who sells houses and who sells investments, and that is true for stock, bond, mutual fund, and insurance brokers who call themselves financial planners. As in the fairy talk, as in the fairy tale, you kiss a lot of frogs to find prince. To find one prince. As in the fairy tale, you kiss a lot of frogs to find one prince. Just remember the old saying: never ask an encyclopedia salesperson if you need an encyclopedia. Never ask an encyclopedia salesperson if you need an encyclopedia. When I interview any paid professional, I first find out how many. When I interview any paid professional, I first find out how much property or stocks they personally own and what percentage they pass in and what percentage they pay in taxes. And that applies to my tax attorney as well as my accountant. I have an accountant who minds her own business. I have an accountant who minds her own business. Her profession is accounting, but her business is real estate. I used to have an accountant that was a small business accountant. I used to have an accountant that was a small business accountant, but he had no real estate. I switched because we did not love the same business. Find a broker who has your best interest at heart. Many brokers will spend the time educating you, and they could be the best asset you find. Just be fair, and most of them will be fair to you. If all you can think about is cutting their commissions, then why should they want to be around you? It is just simple logic. As I said earlier, one of the management skills is the management of people. As I said earlier, one of the management skills is management of people. This is how you can manage the people. One of the ways many people, that means pay your brokers well. Many people only manage people they feel smarter than and they have power over, such as subordinates in a work situation. Many people only manage people they feel smarter uh, they feel smarter than and they have power over, such as subordinates in a work situation. Many middle managers remain middle managers, failing to get promoted because they know how to work with people below them, but not with people above them. The real skill is to manage and pay well the people who are smarter than you in some technical area. That is why companies have a board of directors. That is why companies have board of directors. You should have one too, and that is financial intelligence. 7. Be an Indian giver. This is the power of getting something for nothing. This is the power of getting something for nothing. When the first white settlers came to America, they were taken aback by a cultural practice some American Indians had. For example, if a settler was cold, the Indian would give the person a blanket, mistaking it for a gift. The settler was often offended when the Indian asked for it back. The Indian also got upset when they realized the settlers did not want to give it back. That is where the term Indian giver came from, a simple cultural misunderstanding. In the world of the asset column, being an Indian giver is vital to wealth. The sophisticated investors' first question is, how fast do I get my money back? They also want to know what they get for free, also called a piece of the action. That is why the ROI, or return of and on investment, is so important. That is why ROI, return of and on investment, is so important. For example, I found a small condominium a few blocks from where I live that was in foreclosure. The bank wanted $60,000 and I submitted a bid for $50,000. The banker wanted $60,000 and I submitted a bid for $50,000, which they took simply because along with my bid was a cashier's check for $50,000. They realized I was serious. Most investors would say, aren't you tying up a lot of cash? Would it not be better to get a loan on it? The answer is not in this case. The answer is not in this case. My investment company uses this as a vacation rental in the winter months when the snowbirds come to Arizona and rent it for $2,500 a month for 4 months out of the year. For rental during the off season, it rents for only $1,000 a month. I had my money back in about 3 years. That is for return of and on investment, ROI. Now I own this asset which pumps money out for me in and out, which pumps out for me month in and month out. The same is done with stocks. Frequently, my broker will call me and recommend I move a sizable amount of money into the stock of a company that he feels is just about to make a move that will add value to the stock, like announcing a new product. I will move my money in for a week to a month while the stock moves up. Then I pull my initial dollar amount out and stop worrying about the fluctuations of the market because my initial money is back and ready to work on another asset. So my money goes in and then it comes out, and I own an asset that was technically free. And I own an asset that was technically free. True, I have lost money on many occasions. True, I have lost money on many occasions, but I only play with money I can afford to lose. But I only play with money I can afford to lose. I would say on an average 10 investments. I, I hit home runs on 2 or 3. I hit home runs on 2 or 3, while 5 or 6 do nothing, and I lose on 2 or 3. But I limit my losses to only the money I have in at that time. For people who hate risk, they put their money in the bank, and in the long run, savings are better than no savings. But it takes a long time to get your money back, and in most instances, they don't get anything for free with it. They used to hand out toasters, but they rarely do that these days. They used to hand out toasters, but real they used to hand out toasters, but they rarely do that these days. On every one of my investors, there must be an upside, something for free. A condominium, a mini storage, a piece of free land, a house, stock shares, office building, and there must be a limited risk or a low risk area. There are books devoted entirely to this subject that I will not get into here. There are books devoted entirely to this subject and that I will not get into here. Ray Kroc of McDonald's fame sold hamburger franchises, not hamburger franchises, not because he loved hamburgers, but because he wanted the real estate under the franchise for free. So, wise investors must look at more than ROI. It is the assets you get for free once you get your money back. That is financial intelligence. So, wise investors must look at more than ROI. It is the assets you get for free once you get your money back. That is financial intelligence.